Hey, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? You've got questions. We've got answers. Welcome to the show. It's going to be great. Featuring Matt and Jen from HomeTeam4u. And now, without further ado, it's Matt and Jen.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. Born. Y'all ready for this?
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, today in studio, we have Bill Grinde.
Hello.
And Ken Weaver.
Hello. Are you both newbies?
No.
I have done this before.
Bill's done before.
Bill has been on the podcast before, and some of you may recognize Ken's voice from one of our very first episodes when we did a prank call.
Yes, I was a victim.
That was phenomenal.
He claims he's never been on the podcast, but we know better.
Yeah. No, this is my maiden voyage being in the studio.
So which prank call were you? What was the shtick?
It was Katie.
Oh, and that was the horse one?
And I was on vacation in the North Woods, enjoying the nice family time.
And you got a call asking for somebody was a lake water frontage and
they wanted
Yes.
they wanted to be able to have horses on a lake.
Mm-hmm.
in Dane
They
County.
were from California.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ken, Ken, what I'm looking for?
I said, okay, this will be fun.
I feel like we should prank Katie now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that would be funny. She's in Texas, so who can do a Texas accent?
Oh, that ain't hard at all.
Oh, we should so do
All
it.
right, that's happening.
She'll be like, Ken, I know it's you.
Oh, I'll ask her about the caballeros.
The Caballero.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be really funny. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And let's see, what do we want to start with? What's your home worth now?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So when people are asking you, what is your home worth now? What do you tell them?
More.
I guess I can go. So I bought my. Oh, are you talking about actual sellers or my home?
Sure.
Both.
Yeah. Okay. So I bought my home in 2015 in Sun Prairie, in the Carriage Hills neighborhood. Today I bought it. Then it was on the market for 87 days. I bought it for $210,000. And it is now worth probably, I'd have to run the comps, about $340,000. So
Double.
that is what my house. No, I don't think it's double, but it's up there. It was a nice investment.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
nice.
real estate's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good.
So how would you explain that to a client or use it as an example?
I've used my example countless times, and then I can use it again now for buyers and for sellers. Like right now, for sellers, it's an easy proposition. Letting them know how much their home is worth and what it might be worth in the near future if the market goes down and the Feds and the interest rate keep going up. So it's an easy conversation with sellers. As for buyers, it's a little tougher. Yeah, it's a little tougher because they are buying in the peak of the market, and who knows what it's going to do in the future.
But if they decide to not buy now and they wait, then it will be a lot. If the rates go up, which the Fed said that they're going to go up, it'll cost them more for less house.
Correct.
And then they'll also lose the equity that they would have gained if they
Right.
just bought.
Yeah, if they just keep renting and sticking the income in the rent, yeah, I mean, the
So
Feds,
buy now, people.
their buying power will decrease every time the Fed's rate go up. So, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Ken? What is your home worth now?
Let's see. We just recently sold our property, and then we bought another one, and where did we come in at? Right around 352, and boy, I'm trying to think how many years it's been. Let's see, 22 minus 19. So 2.5 years, and it's probably increased, I'd say, by 75,000. but we're always conservative. It might be quite a bit more. I'm not
Is
sure.
that coming about 10 to 13%?
Yeah, I mean I think last year alone it went up 13,
Yeah.
14. Yeah,
That's what it was across Dane County. It was about 13% increase last year.
yeah. That sounds right on. So yeah, I can't complain about that. I wouldn't be too. I think the whole interest rates going up is a little overblown. I remember the very first home I ever bought. I think this was 1987,
That was in grade school.
and
That was 3.
What month was it? Because I might not have been born yet.
well, I remember it was 9.25%.
Well, did you have was it a residential single family loan or was it a farm loan?
That one was a single family home. Yeah, that was in a equally a market that's similar to this because that was back in the Washington D.C. area.
Oh,
And it makes a big difference, I
Yeah.
think. Being up here in Madison, I would not be all that concerned about home when you buy. I
Yeah.
think any time to get in the market. The trick is getting into this market.
right.
And if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, they can show you how to do it. If you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing, you're going to have trouble.
HomeTeam4u.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Home Team is unbelievable and guiding people that way.
So values have been going up, 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 up. What do you do with the naysayers that think that it's going to be a big bubble?
I do believe that every market will have a natural correction, but anybody that's been in the Madison area knows the resiliency. I mean, we went through an absolute catastrophe back in 2008. I don't expect that to happen very often. And it was amazing how the bounce back for the Madison area was, how quickly everything came back. And now, boy, talk about scarcity. You know, and that's a good thing. That means you've got a strong market where you're owning a tangible asset that's not going anywhere soon.
So invest in real estate, yo.
Yeah, it beats inflation every time.
Unless you have to sell, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
So buy now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did with investment properties, just buy and hold. I mean, our first one we bought at 89.9. Little house on Johns. Anybody know where Johns Street is?
I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
I do.
There's houses over there now. It's probably
230, 240.
230 to 240.
Yeah. So you guys
800 square feet.
Yeah.
you guys are true
One car detached.
East
garage.
Side.
Hey, I mean that wasn't the house where we lived, but it was our first investment that we bought.
Yeah, that's nice. That right there near Olbrook Gardens, that whole area is just so hot.
Mm-hmm.
If you own something there, that's a fantastic thing. And if you want to buy there, it's a fantastic thing.
Just fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Everything. Just like the 4.
Everything's fantastic.
Just like the 4, is that what you said?
Fantastic Four.
It took me a second. I'm like, the 4, what is he talking about?
Come on, you got to keep up. Keep up.
I know.
gonna be a fun podcast.
Ken's already starting
man.
his jokes. Yeah. Awesome. Great. All right. Did you have anything else that you wanted to cover with that, Jacob?
No, I mean, I think you guys hit it.
All right. Cool. Closing costs. Where do we want to go with closing costs?
Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Okay. I will read the internet definition of closing costs. Sometimes the internet's wrong, so you guys can chew it apart. But according to the or it could be spot on, who knows? According to the internet, closing costs are an assortment of fees, including fees charged by a lender, the title company, attorneys, insurance companies, tax authorities, homeowners associations, real estate agents, and other closing settlement-related companies. These closing costs are typically paid at the time of closing a real estate transaction.
So closing costs have been very different things in our real estate career. Because when we started, in the late 90s, almost a lot of buyers would just write their closing costs in and have them paid by the seller. It was almost every deal. because you could do these 80-20 loans. People would get in for no money. The seller would pay their closing costs, and it was just cheap, and you could get in a house. Now, in the market we're in, we're not seeing sellers being willing to pay closing costs. Buyers have to have their own money. They have to have a down payment and all of that stuff, and the seller is not going to be kicking in as much. So it's really changed that way. Because one of the ways I know that is I've had agents ask me, well, what would you write in if we're going to want to ask for them? Like, how much would you write in for closing costs? Any ideas?
As a buyer,
Well, if you're writing one for a buyer.
I would tell them to not write one in.
But so the lender says you have to have them.
$2,000.
What do you think, Ken?
Well, it definitely depends on how the deal unravels. So
Say a number, Ken.
2,200.
Oh, inflate prices, right?
Jen was looking for a number.
Yeah. So the thing is, it totally depends on the person's loan, because if they are escrowing, you have to cover the escrows, and depends on the time of year, because if it's later in the year, there needs to be more money in
Right.
those escrows, and those escrows get padded. So it can really fluctuate. The best thing to do is ask the lender, what are you going to need to cover for those closing
Because they'll
costs?
figure your prorations too.
Yeah.
Tax
yeah.
prorations.
Back in the day, we would always write in like 2,500, but I just had somebody ask me a couple of days ago, and I told them to write in 3,500. But
Well, it depends on what the taxes are too.
yeah, it depends on the taxes and the municipality and the time of year. But figuring the time of the year was the beginning, it was like there weren't going to be that many taxes yet, but it can fluctuate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure can.
So if you have a situation where closing costs have to be written in, how do you make it palatable for the seller?
Go ahead, Ken.
What does a seller like?
Well, the seller likes to have as much moolah as possible. Yeah.
So that's what we always used to do, is we would write in over, we would say, okay, here's what the prices, because back in the day, you would just write asking price. I know that seems crazy now because we always go over, but you would write the asking price, and then you would take the 2,500, tack it on the top, and then that would be the price. So it was net to the seller the same amount. And that's how we got into trouble, because you could get it to appraise for whatever you wanted to back then. And so it would appraise for more than it was worth. And then people were upside down on their mortgages.
Yeah.
Yay. So it's probably good that we're not, doing that with closing costs anyway.
Right.
Probably.
What's your closing cost story, Matt?
I think it's the 80-20 stuff, but it's been such a long time since we had to do those.
Yeah, because, really, there used to be financing that was like BC financing, and you could have a 490 credit score, and you were able to
If you had a pulse.
If you had a pulse, the lender would say, okay, I need you to get $10,000 in closing costs paid by the seller. The lender would take a huge cut of that, and they would, get somebody to do the loan. But then you'd already be underwater because you paid.
But you had nice furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound legal.
The good old days.
The good old days.
The good old days. So, but nowadays we just write in closing costs, and we try and get them as close to what they can be. And for some people, I've seen a few times that those closing costs will get through. So
How often do you think buyers are writing in closing costs, and how often are sellers accepting that in today's market in 2021 and 2020? Because I
think a lot of times you have to bump the price to cover the
yeah, you have
costs.
you have to bump the price. You have to have a seller that's very eager or not selling or something like that. So, if you had 100 offers, maybe 2 have closing costs paid.
So if you put in an offer for like 30 grand over asking, and you ask for closing costs to be covered as the buyer, seller should be able to do that, right? I mean, if it's near the beginning of the year, it's like $3 grand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't you think?
It all turns out to be what the net is, but it doesn't make sense from a negotiating standpoint,
Right. Yeah.
because then it looks like, well, you're paying me all this extra money, but you don't have enough money for your closing costs.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all kind of semantics.
Right. That makes sense.
Sweet. Do we want to do some jokes?
Sure.
Say something funny.
Sure.
Wait. We should establish what kind of jokes we're doing here. Okay, so this
I got a couple written down.
I shouldn't have warned these guys and made it more spontaneous, but here we are. We're gonna do a dad joke off since we have 3 fathers on the podcast today. Jen is gonna be our official judge. She will determine who has the best dad jokes. May the best dad win. Who's going?
That's not really fair. She's going to tank me.
Why would I tank you?
All right, Ken, go ahead.
She laughed.
Oh, okay. So, what did the baby elephant say to the dad elephant when they cut off his nose?
Oh boy.
Do they have noses?
What?
Well, I don't know.
What'd you do that for?
Oh boy. All right, I got one.
Oh no!
Why
All
did
right.
Han Solo not like his steak? Because it was chewy.
Was Han Solo a dad?
I don't know. I never watched it.
Yes.
All right, Matt.
If April showers bring May flowers, what do Mayflowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims.
For real, it's pilgrims?
Mayflower?
Yeah, if Ken already guessed it, that's not good.
Oh. All right, Ken.
Oh,
How about this one?
We should do a try not to laugh.
I have a
Ken's
new
joke.
one.
Yeah.
Is
Ken, if you
it?
like.
I'm up.
Yeah, you're up.
All right. So this dad goes into a bar, and he sits down, and there's a guy, and he's wearing this green hat with kind of glitter on it, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing?" He goes, "Hey, I'm a leprechaun." He goes, "I got some magic beverage here for you." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's fantastic. It'll change your life." He goes, "Sure, I'll take it." And so he hands it over to him, and he takes a big swallow, and poof, his legs are gone. And he goes, no, I can't do this. I got a lot of walking around it. And so he goes, well, here, take this corrective beverage. And he takes it, and he drinks it, and poof, his arms are gone. He says, oh, no, same scenario. And then, boom, there goes his torso, and just sitting there is his head. It's just sitting there. And he goes, hey, please pour some down my throat and change all this. And he says, sure thing. And he pours it down his throat, and poof. So the guy with the green hat looks at all the other patrons sitting there and says, he should have quit while he was ahead.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'll stick to the bar theme. A thirsty ham sandwich walks into a bar, and the bartender says, sorry, we don't serve food. Get it?
Get it?
It's not good when you have to say, get it. Get it. You follow me?
That's a dad joke. I say that to my kids all the time.
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
What?
They're both parasites.
Nice.
So back in the 90s, I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Okay, hold on.
Oh, my.
What's the best time on the clock? 6:30, hands down.
I'm afraid of the calendar.
Why?
Its days are numbered.
What's the least spoken language in the world?
Silence.
Sign language.
Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
In case you get a hole in
In
one.
case they get a hole in one.
Nice. I sold my vacuum the other day. It was just gathering dust.
I think Grinde would lose at the laugh
I
contest.
think it would.
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
I know this answer.
You follow the Fresh Prince.
I feel like this is deja vu.
This is what happens when Matt gets the questions ahead of time.
All right, I'm good.
Hey, you know how you kill a blue elephant?
How do you kill a blue elephant, Ken?
He's got a repertoire of elephant jokes.
Yeah, he does. I was going to say. He's like,
All right, I'll change it up.
Okay.
Do you know how you kill a pink elephant?
It's still an elephant, Ken. That's the whole point.
I didn't say you had blue jokes.
Well, I went with the blue one because that's the dad.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, but I'm
All
going
right.
to go with the normal
No.
elephant joke. How do
All
you
right.
kill a pink elephant?
I don't know.
Well, you shoot him with a pink elephant gun.
Oh, that's a punchline?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know how you kill a blue
How do you kill a blue
elephant?
No.
You hold his nose and make sure he stays blue, and you shoot him with the blue elephant gun.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Yeah.
Why are we shooting?
But at least it's a dad joke.
Okay.
The nice death dad joke. Yes.
Why did the stadium get hot after the football game?
Why?
Because all the fans left.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's good
whoa.
because you know there's a lot of dads in there.
I say that one a lot.
I like that.
What do you
Yeah.
call a factory that makes okay products?
I don't know.
What?
A satisfactory.
Oh.
All right, let me see if I got any.
Oh.
Okay. Jen, do you got any?
Yeah, you know
My
how many.
dad jokes are limited.
Well, you know how you put 4 dad elephants in a Volkswagen Bug?
How?
You put 2 in the front seat and 2 in the back.
You mean two in the trunk?
It's logistic.
All right. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees?
I feel like we're stuck in elephants.
Why?
Because they're really good at it.
Oh. What did the ocean say to the beach?
I don't know.
Nothing. He just waved. What was that?
You know how you know if an elephant has been in your refrigerator? There's a huge, elephant paw print in the butter.
That happened the other day.
See.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did the 0 say to the 8?
I don't know.
That belt looks good on you.
Oh, yeah.
Belt because it's tight.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Wait, I got a knock joke.
Oh, good.
Does it include
Okay.
an elephant?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So you got to start.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ken,
Ken who?
the elephant.
Ken the elephant. That's pretty good.
Aren't you supposed to say knock knock?
Oh, yeah. I wonder why it wasn't working. I was trying to figure it out.
We're back to
boy.
have. Remember that podcast where you got that call? We had a lot of wine that podcast.
More than I have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the wine was, hey, Yeah.
Hey.
Di's talking me into going to some really cool place in Sun Prairie tonight.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So the classic dad joke. Did you get your hair cut?
No, I got them all cut.
No, I got them all cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a classic.
Yep.
that is a classic.
That's a classic.
Is it
one,
really?
yeah.
I like.
Ken,
Yeah.
you've never used that line?
I don't use lines.
Really?
No.
Well, next time you get your hair cut, I'm gonna say
Elephant jokes are bust.
Yeah, you do have a bit of a theme going.
Yeah.
See, I believe.
See?
I believe in themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't eggs tell jokes?
They're not all that cracked up. I don't know.
Yolks on them? No.
They
Yeah.
crack each other up.
Oh,
Hey.
I like the yolks on it.
Yeah. Well,
The yolks on you,
yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Anyway,
Right at elephant jokes.
All right, what was the best one, guys? What was the best joke?
man.
Hearing Ken tell a joke.
I like parasites because it just was so
Parasites.
so fluid.
Parasites.
Yeah.
Yeah, your leprechaun joke was pretty good.
Or
Yep.
Dad, can you put my what is this one here? Dad, can you put my shoes on? No, I don't think they'll fit me.
Got it.
I zoned out.
Ken's somewhere else. He's like, I'm looking for elephants over here in the corner.
I zoned out a little bit.
At least he's honest.
Thinking about wine.
Maybe
tonight.
we, maybe we should just call Katie.
Ken, what kind of car does an egg drive?
Maybe call and ask.
The
him.
Exactly.
Yolkswagen.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty good.
How do you make 7 even? Take away the S. Want me to write that one out for you, Ken?
Yes.
That one in the belt. I have to write those out for you.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
do you know the difference between wallpaper and toilet paper?
You can only wipe with one of them.
Do you know the difference?
No.
That's gross.
That's a dad joke.
That was dead joke.
Why do math books look so sad? Because of all of its problems.
That's pretty good.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
Or down.
You guys have a lot of these jokes. I tell you.
What kind of shoes do ninjas wear?
I don't know.
Sneakers.
Why do dogs float? Because they're good boys.
You know how to catch a unique rabbit?
No.
Use an elephant.
Unique up on them.
How does a penguin build its house?
I don't know.
It glues it together.
It glues.
It glues. It glues. Yay.
Anyway.
I'm like, is anyone still there? Are you still with us?
I used to be addicted to soap.
Oh.
Now I'm clean.
Wah, wah.
That was my hokey pokey joke.
Jen, you need to declare a winner, otherwise this will never end.
Ken.
What?
I think because I stopped.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bill was a very close second.
I had a lot of straight dad jokes. He had an actual joke with narration. That's not fair.
Elephants, yeah,
Yeah.
elephants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stay away from all the rest of them.
I mean, a couple of his were really, really good.
They were.
And then there was a few that we're not counting those.
Congrats, Ken.
my feelers are hurt.
You're so good. Just have wine later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, should we call anybody?
Yeah, I did send a little something over to Jacob. So we need to know what are we going to do on this prank call if this person answers.
Are we calling Katie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Do you have her number?
Go get it, Ken.
I got her.
Is she a realtor in Houston? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look up Zillow on
There you go.
Bill, maybe give Ken your phone and look up a Zillow, look up for a property on Houston.
Yeah. Look up a big one.
Houston property.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to need to put your cattle or something on it.
All right, so
Texas.
Do you have her new number?
Yeah, I sent it to Jacob. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You got to come up with your character.
There it is. 9-gauge court in Houston, 5.7 million.
That's the number you sent.
Oh,
I
there's
think
one
I'll-
for 16 million.
That's the number.
That's the number?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's in Houston.
Here,
Yeah.
Jacob, I'm going to send you, or send Jacob the new number.
you got another one.
Yeah, it's the one that's her new cell phone.
I could call her Zillow number.
Just call this number.
okay, give it to him.
You got the
Well,
address?
no, just send it to him.
He's got the address.
Text me it.
That's what I was trying to do, but
Uh-oh.
Matt's having me handwrite it. Because being quiet is really good on a podcast. 402.
So how about them Bengals?
Bengals are awesome, man.
I love Joe Burrows. It's
Joe
man
Burrow's a
crush.
great story, man.
Man,
He really
no
is.
kidding.
I want Stafford to win.
I
Oh,
think it's a
yeah.
win-win Super Bowl.
It's a
I love
win-win.
Stafford. I love what he went through with his wife. I love Joe Burrow, underdog. Love all that.
I just don't know if you can keep Arnold off him. That's going to be tough.
Donald,
All right, got your story made up here, Cowboy
Yeah.
Ken.
here's your address.
Should he be a
This
cowboy?
one or that one? I should go
Whichever one you want. Whichever one you want.
Oh, this is gonna be too much fun.
Hmm.
What's the address?
Pick one and talk about it.
Okay. Might as well go with this one over here.
Yeah,
It's a little
5.7.
more.
Okay. It's a little more you.
And she won't be so,
Gotcha.
All right, you're going to have to not sound like you can. Can you do it?
that's going to be tricky.
I think you can do it.
You can do it.
You
can do it.
Don't sound like that, though.
Yeah. Hi.
Sound like a highfalutin guy from New
You so-
York or something.
Yeah, you sound like from some coastie coming into
Yeah.
Texas.
Hi. I'm just Tom Funk.
Bill should do this.
That's a terrible hair lip.
I think that it's going to be funny.
All right,
Go ahead, kid.
you got this.
I think it's gonna be
hit call.
hilarious.
You ready?
How do I know when I'm on?
It's not
You'll
good.
hear it.
You'll hear it
You'll
and
hear
then
the
just
ringing.
ask about the house.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like you're having a phone call right through the podcast.
Be good.
You ready?
Born.
Shoot.
Unintentionally hilarious.
Okay, we all have to be quiet though.
Yep.
I don't hear it.
Hello, this is Katie.
Hello? Is this?
Hello?
Is this? Hello? Who is this?
I hung up. There is some weird feedback going
Yeah,
on.
that's a lot of static.
Could it? Maybe. I'm gonna call again. Sorry. Something was going on there.
It's ding dong
Just say
ditch.
something happened to your phone. Just say just
Yeah. All right. Who did I call?
847.
Does she know that I'm calling her?
No, we're prank calling.
No, you know what I mean? Like,
No, you're just calling about a house.
is it like her company?
Just say you found it online.
Hello, this is Katie.
Hello? Is this a realtor? I'm trying to call on a property on Zillow.
Yeah, this is a realtor. Are you calling about a property in the Houston, Texas area?
Yes. Yeah. My name's Tom Funk, and I'm moving in. I'm not in Houston now, but I'm
Okay.
moving. do you represent properties, or how's that work? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I can help you out.
Okay. I'm looking at this property. It's at 9
Are
Gauge.
you calling? It's what now?
It's at 9 Gauge Court in Houston.
Okay, let me look this up for you real quick. Are you calling from Madison, Wisconsin?
I don't think I'm calling from Madison. I have a prosthetics company in New Mexico, and I sold it, and I'm moving down to Houston, and that's where I was born and raised, and I see this one property. I'd like to go see it.
You said 9 Gauge Court.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you spell gauge?
Gage. Court.
Okay, and you said that's in Houston.
Yes, ma'am.
That's so funny because your number showed up for me as if you were calling from Madison, Wisconsin, which is where I used to live. So I thought that was really funny. But you said you're in where now?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay, interesting. Well, I tell you what, this address is not pulling up for me, but let me search it on Zillow real quick and see what I can find for you. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, are you still in New Mexico right now, and you're looking to maybe make the move
Yeah, I'm in.
to Texas?
Yeah, Gallup, New Mexico, and we have finalized our deal. We're moving back in, and we saw this property. We thought it looks awful nice. It's got a swimming pool, and I think that'd be really good. We're going to be coming in probably this weekend, and I just wanted to see if I could find out more about this property.
Okay. Sure. Let's get you a showing set up then. What day works best for you this weekend?
Probably Saturday mid-afternoon. But the question I have, if you can figure this out for me, I want something that's close to people, because one thing I don't like is be real far away from lots of people. I want neighbors, but I also,
you want neighbors? Yeah.
Yeah, we're very social.
Okay. Yeah, we can make sure you get in a neighborhood with some people nearby for sure. Do you have any kids or anything?
We got about 6 kids. 2 are staying back in New Mexico, but the other 4, they like to do, one runs a haberdashery, so he's really into hats, and that's another thing we love about this place. It looks like it's got plenty of room for lots of hats, and we also hats. He runs a haberdashery, but he's really big into like the whole Houston thing. Like he loves.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah. Like his specialty is Stetsons, and so what he'll do with the Stetson hats is he'll make them for all kinds of different livestock. Like you can, if you got some Longhorns, he can make them so special so they sit right on top of the head. I'm serious. It is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And
sometimes I like to walk on my hands. Sometimes I like to, when I'm at the office, sometimes I'll just like start doing a handstand and walk around. Can they make hats that would stay on for that?
No. No. Hats, just normal hats that people wear,
Well, what if I had some Velcro or something inserted in that, so that I could walk on my hands and my hat would stay on?
I don't know that my son would be happy with you bastardizing his hats.
I'll have you so figured out, right?
Hi, Katie. Oh my God!
You guys have me on the podcast right now.
You know who called, right? You know who called, right?
Yeah, Ken had his maiden voyage on the podcast, and he had a little vendetta.
That was bastardizing that.
What'd you call it? A haberdashery?
Yeah.
That's real.
Haberdashery.
Okay. So I knew that something was off because I was like, okay, they're coming from Madison. Something is off here.
That was
So
a little
then,
mistake.
when I looked up the property, when I looked up the property, it's like the most expensive house I've
It was
ever seen.
5.7 million.
We
Like
picked a good
5 million.
one.
And I was like, okay, so then I Googled the number, right? And I was like, HomeTeam4u
Oh. That was just like
HomeTeam4u
oversight.
pie drive up is the number that popped up. You guys wish that you could crank call as good as me. Like, I could have kept going. I was about to say Bella needed a hat. I was going to say my husband needed a XL sombrero. I was ready for it.
No, just wait. You're going to get a call on that property that's 5.7 million.
Yep, and you're
That's
gonna
right.
totally
I
know it.
That's what. Well, that's why I wanted to check before I said anything funny, because I'm like, if this is such a real lead, I'm about to sell a $6 million house. Anyways, who's there? You have Ken and
Bill
Jen
Grinde.
and Matt, and who else?
Bill Grinde.
Oh, Bill Grinde.
Hi, Katie.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone.
Yes, we miss you,
We miss
lady.
you.
Don't prank call somebody else now. You got to do star 67. Didn't you guys
Yeah.
live in the early 2000s?
Who made that call?
I should have taken my number off the pie drive up. I thought I was being sneaky
That's
because I
actually
used
kinda
my Google voice number, so it was like a random area code. I don't even know how it got 608.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was trying to hide it.
Yeah, you know.
Well, we'll do better next time. But thanks.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to be waiting for like a fake call to come through.
Who else
I just
did you
happen to
crank
be at the
call?
office making calls too, so that's so funny.
You crank called somebody else. Who
Who
else
else
besides
did you
Ken?
crank call?
No, you
called.
crank called somebody
It
else.
was Ken
Oh,
and
it was Brendan.
Brendan.
Oh,
Oh,
poor
yeah.
Brendan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was a bad day.
Well, thanks
That
for
was
playing
like
along.
his
Yes.
first week. Yes. Okay. Have a good day, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Talk
We
later.
miss you, Katie.
Hey,
Yep.
Katie.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh my gosh, Ken.
You were
That was funny.
committed.
I knew the jig was up when she said, "Well, this says Madison."
I know, I did too.
Should have said your son lives in Madison and he runs your plan.
It's weird
Yeah.
because the zip code's like 573 or something. So like, I was like,
that's
how's
weird.
that possible?
Isn't that Missouri?
I don't know. It's just a random.
I think it's actually funny. She Googled
Google
it while talking to Ken.
Yeah. Yeah.
The haberdashery and the putting the hats on the Longhorns.
That is unreal. Yeah, it's St. Louis, Missouri. That
Oh, that was pretty funny, Ken.
Oh well.
was impressive.
Next time. Next victim.
Yeah.
That'll be
Well,
fun.
well, now you guys are even. We'll call it even.
I'd
She's
say
like,
so.
you're in
Except she-
Houston?
Yeah, but she wasn't on vacation.
Well, I mean, she's in Texas. She's somewhere warm.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty good.
Right.
What else we got?
That was some good stuff. Well, we have a situation that I wanted to talk about that happened, gosh, I don't know how many years ago. So what do you do if you have a seller and or what happens and the seller's having money problems and then they decide that they're going to turn off their furnace to save money in November
In Wisconsin.
in Wisconsin?
Did they move out?
Oh yeah, totally vacant property, and they have turned off the furnace.
So you would, before you leave, I think you would have to get homeowners insurance for a vacant property versus an occupied company or policy, because vacant, you never know what's going to happen. Plumbing issues, electrical issues, and nobody's home to solve them. So the premium's going to be higher in a vacant property. So if he left without changing his homeowners, then he's probably SOL, is what I would assume.
So let's just assume he didn't change his homeowner's insurance.
Well, then I think he is in a world of hurt, changing out frozen pipes and
What happens when
Fixings.
pipes freeze?
Yeah. So in like,
They're gonna bust.
yeah,
Bust.
if people actually want to turn off their furnace and they want to save costs, then they have to winterize their property, right? So
Yes.
they need to have a company come in and blow out all the pipes. Well, this person didn't.
Oops.
And we didn't realize it. He didn't tell us. No other agents who went through the property indicated, wow, it's really cold in here.
Oh boy.
So then Matt and I, we were on the team trip at the time. We were in Mexico and we got a call from an agent stating that they opened the door and water was pouring out. Oh, God. And initially your head goes to, since we've dealt with a lot of properties that have had kind of issues and things, like don't go in because there's electric and things like that on, and you don't want to get zapped and get fried. So we're in Mexico trying to figure this all out, but it ended up that the utility companies came over and were able to disconnect everything, but the pipes had blown up everywhere. All of the wood, all of the cabinets, not all of the drywall, but most of the drywall all had to be ripped out of this property because this fellow was trying to save money.
What that cost him?
Well, that's not a great, well, I guess it's an interesting part of the story. He was also doing a short sale because he didn't have any funds. So he ended up, we had to go to the bank and say, hey, bank, this is what happened. And the bank said, call your insurance company. Insurance company said, this is negligence. We're not covering this. So it ended up that the bank that held the note for the short sale gave him, the owner, an extra note, an unsecured note to be able to make all the repairs. And then we were able to sell the property, but he basically stole the property and ended up with a $40,000 note that he had to pay back.
That sucks.
Oops.
Yeah.
So what's words of wisdom when you vacate a property?
Don't.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to have a vacant property, for sure, check in with your insurance and see if you need to get some kind of, vacant property insurance. Also, do not turn off your furnace.
Yes.
As you were talking, I was actually checking our thermostat at our vacation property up north.
But after that happened, every time it gets to be fall and we have vacant properties, I would always send out a message that was like, be sure to check your furnaces in your vacant properties because that's a terrible surprise. And for whatever reason, some people don't think about it. But yeah.
Well, and that's also good advice, what Bill said. Make sure that you look at your policy and change that up so that it covers a vacant place.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because it's a lot more expensive
just
to have the vacant policy
sure.
insurance
It's not even
too.
just a vacant property. It's non-owner occupied. So like in our case, the insurance is higher on the place up north.
Yeah, I mean, there's been instances when I've worked from home kind of for the last 3 years, and we've had water leaks. Like if we were gone for a week, I've had my water line for my kitchen refrigerator, and if I wasn't home to notice, and if I was gone for 2-3 weeks or however long you go to your cabin, it would have been detrimental. But I was able to, shut off the water and fix it. But yeah,
A lot of times, if we're gone a long time from the place up north, we'll actually turn off the water to the property, and then open the utility sink in the basement, let all the water drain back down.
right, that makes sense.
I mean, unless it gets super cold and cracks the toilet, then you're probably okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the old wives' tale of if you leave a little drip or a certain amount going.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But is that a real thing, or is that just something that?
I've heard that works in old houses, that because it keeps it going and then it doesn't freeze. But I don't think that's foolproof.
Are you talking about it cauterize itself? Like
No,
what
it
are you saying?
keeps the water running.
Like the little drip keeps the water moving
I
through
thought,
the pipes.
okay, I thought you meant
And then
it's
I've
gotta
also
fix itself.
seen people that would put, they would know that they had a certain pipe that would freeze, so they would be putting towels and wrapping them up and things. So if you see that in really old houses, they've probably had problems with those pipes.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you turn off the water to your house, and you just run all the faucets until they're out, doesn't that pretty well insulate you from?
It should. That's why I turn the water off in the basement. Then the utility sink, which is in the basement, and then the bathtub and sink in the basement, I'll turn all the basement stuff on.
Yeah.
and let it drain down.
I think when the plumbers do it, they probably blow it out somehow.
Well, they put antifreeze in.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why the toilets are pink.
Or blue. Just like the elephants.
Got to have all that good stuff.
I got a fun water leak story if you want to hear it.
Yes.
How I almost died.
Those are my favorite.
How you almost died?
I did. Yeah.
Is this
Gets even better.
Is this a dad water leak story?
I was a father when my water was leaking, so
Excellent.
yes.
So your water broke as a father?
It did. It really did. Anyway, it was like 2 years ago. Middle of summer. It was like June, July maybe. I woke up. It was like 6 a.m. and my ceiling fan in my bedroom just turned really bright. The light turned on and the ceiling fan started.
By itself?
By itself. And the ceiling fan started going really, 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 really fast. And then I started to smell something. I was like, oh, that's not good. And so I run downstairs, and as I'm running downstairs, like my water line had leaked, and it was dripping down to my basement, and right above in my basement above my washer is my electric panel. And so the washer was leaking water onto the electric panel, and then when I was going downstairs, the washer line burst, and so gallons and washer lines, if you've never seen one burst, there is gallons and gallons and gallons of water coming out of that thing in seconds. So anyway, it all leaked down into the basement. All my lights in my house was going berserk. It was bright as the sun. And I go down in the basement, and there's standing water in my basement right above my electric panel while the water's cascading down my electric panel. And I reached in there, and I hit the main shut-off while I'm standing in water, while water's dripping over the electric panel. And then I turned it all off, and, yeah, I should have been electrocuted or something should have happened. But, yeah, it was – you talk about an insurance claim. That was a good one. And then – so, yeah, my wife and kids were sitting in my neighbor's driveway just – because the house smelled like smoke. It smelled like it was burning down.
Electrical smell.
Yeah, it was something else. Insurance claim was large, but yeah, I mean, if we weren't home then, oh my God, that would have been a total loss on the house completely. So it would have burned down and flooded at the same time.
Oh, good. Like that's quite the feat.
Yeah.
I flooded and burned it down.
So I hate water. So when you guys talk about water, it's personal to me.
I feel that.
Yeah. That's like Jaws 3.
What?
Yeah,
there was no
probably.
electrical panels.
Jaws 3.
The one with the elephants?
No, he bit into the cable, the electrical cable.
Yes,
no, that's two.
That's two.
But the third one, now it's personal. Remember that? No. That was the
Was that the 3D one?
I think so, yeah.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Oh, it was, the best.
What was isn't the Jaws 3 the one where he was in wasn't there like a aquarium or something? Was that 3?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the
let's
ocean?
Let's go back to association. How are you associating this with?
Well, because
I made a
Bill said it was
it's personal.
personal. Water and water, Jaws. And,
Jaws 3.
And now it's personal. It all relates.
All right, gotcha.
There's no coincidence.
Anywho.
There's no elephants in that story.
Mm-hmm. All right. So.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, there's a challenge there. Ken, what are you telling people that are asking you about rates going up?
Punt. I tell them my personal history with owning real estate. And the rates, seriously, it's all relative. The greatest gains I've ever made with owning real estate have occurred with much higher rates than what we have now. In fact, one of the better deals I ever was involved in had a land contract, and that was a rural farm situation. But the interest rate we were paying to the owner for that was considerably higher. But we turned around, and what we were able to sell it for it made that more than negligible. So, it has a short-term effect on things. But boy, in this environment, when you have such pent-up demand for properties, the rates going up, they may have an effect, but it's not going to be as huge as everybody. It's not the boogeyman everybody thinks it is.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Bill, when you're talking to a seller about rates, what do you do?
So I'm the opposite of Ken. Like, I make this kind of like a big deal just because it turns the later into sooner or into now. And I just brought this up with a seller a week ago. Like, he was an older guy, so he likes to talk about government. I told him the rates are going up 3 times this year. Actually, I think they just went up in January here, if I just saw that. And he was really interested. It perked his ears. And I said, every time the rates go up, the buyer's purchase power goes down every single time. I said, that means your home value, in theory, is going to go down with each federal rate increase. And he's like, yeah, I understand that. And with buyers, I just flipped the script. I said, the longer you wait on finding pre-approval or finding an interest rate and locking one in, it's the less power you're going to have to buy your home. And it's working so far. I mean, I bring that up. I bring up the rate increase quite a bit, actually, because I'm comfortable talking about it, and it relates well to buyers and to sellers. Just like, hey, do something now because rates are going up. So,
yeah, I relate to both of you because I know with Ken, Matt and I, we were in a market where we were selling property. It was 8.25, right. In the 7s was very normal. So real estate still functions with higher interest rates, but I 100% agree with Bill. It does make it so that you are paying more, getting less, and your monthly mortgage payment is higher than you thought. You're getting less of the property. So, I mean, it definitely does have an effect, but over the overall, we're still going to be able to function.
Right. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that when people, and I agree 100% with you, from the perspective of people wanting to buy, I just don't want them to be scared.
Oh, no.
It's
not a scare tactic. It's an educational tactic. I mean, most of them are first-time home buyers, so they are pinching pennies. They're looking at the dollar amount of their mortgage every point that thing it drops or goes up. And so it's just an educational piece to me. It's just like, hey, this is happening. Here's what it's going to do for you. Don't freak out. You're still going to be able to buy a house, but it's just you're going to be able to buy a little bit less house every time it goes up.
Mm-hmm. It definitely matters more to the first-timers.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they don't have that equity cushion. They're selling something and then buying something.
Right.
All the things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are we for time?
I have 8 minutes.
You have 8 minutes?
I got to get kids. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, very good. Well, then let's just talk about the hybrid appraisal model. Does anybody have any interest in chatting about that?
I read an article on it. It looks like they're going more towards from in-person appraisals to desktop appraisals. Is that accurate? And they're being able to use the data of the city and from comparable homes, I believe, as well to pool their data, that they don't even have to go into the home, or that the buyer's agent can video tour with the inspector. And the appraiser can see inside the home, and so they can answer their own questions and do some sonar stuff to get square footage and things of that nature. So, I mean, it sounds really interesting. It sounds like the wave of the future of technology. LiDAR, I think it was LiDAR radiology.
Yeah. I think one of the things for our listeners that they may not understand is that currently in a real estate transaction, the appraisal piece is one of the pieces that takes the longest amount of time because we have to have a person go out and physically look at the property. And due to what happened back when they're, 2006 to 2009, when all the appraisals were way too high and the values weren't there, appraisers are like lenders can't just pick which appraiser they have. They have to have appraiser decks, and it's this very scrutinized process. So if they can take that process and put some technology behind it and be able to streamline it, I mean, you'd be able to buy a house much faster because, I mean, the part of the mortgage process that takes the longest is the appraisal. I mean, we have to figure at least an extra 2 weeks. So if they could figure out a way to do that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
That made me very happy that they're thinking about it because, I mean, when appraisers get busy, we as agents, we're really held handicap or hostage, because it's just like, help.
And did they say Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were going to start approving that in 2023 maybe?
Yeah, they're thinking about trying to get it all to go through. So, but right now there are already, loan programs where it'll go through the desktop underwriting, and it's just like, all right, this is a really strong area. It's good. You don't need an appraisal. But back when the market crashed, they were doing that as well. So there was a lot of times there weren't actually appraisals. So I think they're scared to trust technology. So, but I think we need to trust it a little more. What do you think, Matt?
I think it wasn't necessarily technology back then. It was just they didn't have that technology.
Not enough
during the
technology.
crash.
It was old.
And right now the appraisers are just manually and hand measuring all these properties. And if they can make that more of a streamlined process, that definitely make a difference.
Well, LiDAR is new. I mean, LiDAR
itself.
It's breathtaking.
I wonder if they're going to charge more for the appraisals now.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know who is using the LiDAR. Is the inspector using the LiDAR? Is the appraisal? Can you do LiDAR from your desk? I don't know that answer. Because I've only ever seen is LiDAR in a machine, like combing, like for underneath.
I wonder if they have to attach to a drone or something to get the top view.
I don't know how it works. I'd be interested to find out because LiDAR is cool.
It's built into iPads now.
Really?
Yeah, the iPad Pros have LiDAR.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So maybe you walk through with an iPad and just scan the walls.
Holy cow.
Yeah, because the house that we were dealing with on a purchase, and no appraiser wanted to touch it because it was not square, and they have to measure. They've got all of their software, and they
were all right corners.
Yeah, and it was just a disaster. It's like, well, this is why everybody's turning it down, because you can't measure this property accurately.
Huh.
So if you have a problem where no appraiser wants to touch a property, it's probably why. All the fun things you learn. It's not easy. Give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it sounds like Bill's got to go get some kids, so we probably got to get it wrapped up, huh?
Tell him some dad jokes.
Yeah, tell him some dad
They've
jokes.
heard all my dad jokes.
Not Ken's.
Not Ken's elephant jokes.
You got to tell him some elephant jokes and the leprechaun joke.
The one I tell the most is I tell a lot of cop jokes.
Oh no!
But I think I'll give it a rest.
Thank you.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah, all right.
That's a good one.
It's a walk off.
Yeah.
Boom shot.
Okay.
Mic drop.
Hey, if
Hey.
you're looking for dad jokes, buying or selling real estate, or anything in between, want to know more about elephants, go to HomeTeam4u.com.
Or call Ken.
Or call Ken.
Or Bill.
See you next time.
Ken has
See you
elephant
guys.
jokes, though.
Well, that was fun.
Well, that was a good old time. That was a rip-roaring time.
Cut.
And cut.
And cut.
If you like content like this, consider watching some of these other videos, hitting the subscribe button. If you want to know what your house is currently worth, go to HomeTeam4u.com and look at the free evaluation tool.